Hey, you guys, I wanted to come on here. I've done this 4 times, and I've cried so much and wiped all of my makeup off my old face. I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I want to tell you, I am just not been ever a people person. I just never have been. I think growing up, I kind of had a weird childhood. Nothing against my parents, but anyway, as a result, I've been apprehensive about people and, who you can trust and who you can't. I just never have been. My whole life, I think, and never thought much of another person. Childhood, but you guys have changed my entire outlook on that. And for that, I feel blessed. I really do. And it's a shame it took this tragedy in my life to make me have a different perspective. I hope I'm looking in the camera. I don't even know. Anyhow, the way my place is set up, we moved here almost 4 years ago, and there's a main house, a little single-wide mobile home, and my mom, all her stuff's in there. She's the one that lived there, and then my boys would live on the end. And I thought, well, I'll go ahead and get a couple of those little cedar buildings, and that's what I did. And I put them together as close as I could, so we could just walk out from door to door. And so that morning, Tuesday morning, I went and took a shower in the main house and came down to the bedroom, and there Chewy was on the bed. Nothing on. I didn't leave anything on but the ceiling fan and the air conditioner in the window. And I thought, usually every day, first thing I do is make my bed. And I thought, no, I'm not going to disturb him. I'll just go on and put my makeup on. So I grabbed my makeup bag and I went up to the living room building. And I sat there about 10 minutes, put my makeup on, long enough to have a cup of coffee. And I heard one dog bark outside. And it dawned on me I need to go feed Gizzy and Chewy, because Gizzy, he eats every 2 hours. And so I knew it had been a minute because my husband fed him before he left for work. And so I grabbed Chewy's dog food and Gizzy's can, and I go over to the thing. And when I rounded the corner, I heard a pop. And by the time I seen what was going on, I'm telling you, I believe I lost my mind. Smoke coming out of the windows, my air conditioner. We're talking 10 or 15 minutes time span since I had been in that house. That little building, that's it. And it was 12 by 24 is the size of that building, both of them. And so I thought, surely I would have smelled something looking back. If I would have stuck around and made my bed like I did every morning, I think we would be talking about Harry and Meghan today and not what's going on, to be honest with you. And so anyway, I screamed as loud as I could for Chewy. Flames shot into my face and burned my chest and took off my eyelashes. And I wasn't caring about that. I just wanted to get in there and get my animals. And so I started getting a hose pipe. My boys came out and called 911 and got the hose pipe on their end, and we started spraying everything down. And by this time, that place was going down. It didn't take minutes for it to burn to the ground. And so we live out in the country, and because we do, I think they're all volunteers with the fire department. I'm very grateful for them people, but it took them a minute to get out there. And so by the time they got out there, my other building was on fire, and it's gone. Half of it's just ruined. And then the back end of the mobile home caught fire. And so they got everything put out, and I begged them to look for Chewy. And they said they couldn't find anything at Chewy, but we found the possum. And my kids buried him in the fairy garden next to it. I don't care about stuff, but I had Chewy every day of my life for 15 years. And anyway, I don't want to get started on that, because I'm going to tell you, my hair from breaking down, I think. It's just been too much, too quick. And so we had nothing, everything's gone. on mine and my husband's by this time. It didn't really destroy my boy's stuff. And so everybody, runs in circles. I'm having a nervous breakdown. The neighbors are feeling sorry for me. I literally screamed and cried for 8 hours. I'm not lying. I just lost my mind because I can't imagine these animals that depended on me so much going in such a miserable way. And why? I don't understand why. I'm not a good person, but I don't feel that I'm all that bad either. I feel like, has this been a punishment for me? I don't know. Anyhow, I've prayed about it, and I was real mad Tuesday. And so Tuesday night rolls around, and my mom and my niece who was visiting was in my mom's room in the back end of the trailer, and we had to get a generator. They took the power meter. And so running the fan, keeping the fridge going, and my husband and I stayed in the van, in my big hippie van, and my boys were in their room where it had only burnt the outside. No, I'm sorry, they stayed in the living room because it was smoky still in their room. And so about 4 a.m, they screaming, "Mom, we're on fire again." And so here comes, by that time I was so dang mad, y'all, I'm telling you, I was fit to be tied. And so they said the fire marshals are going to investigate it further because they put it all out. And we're talking a 16-hour time difference. 16, maybe 18, from the time they put that first fire out till that other one started. That's not normal. I've Googled the statistics. What are the odds? And so it destroyed that end. And my boys, it was just a nightmare. But it's like the fire marshal said, it was almost like an invisible firewall from the living room to my mom's room. Nothing was harmed. Nothing was touched. Nothing. But from the bathroom back, everything is just gone. So I don't know exactly. I'm telling you, I'm going to make a video about that when I'm in my right mind, because it is, a possibility. I know people might think that's crazy, but man, you don't understand how evil this world really is. There's a lot of negative energy that's come together and, wishing ill will or whatnot. And even the fire marshal said it's weird. But then they're investigating for arson, and that's a video in itself. We'll talk about that. And I believe, if I even think that is truly what happened with who I really think happened with, I'm afraid that's going to be something that pushes me over the edge, because I've been nothing but nice to people, and I'm on my business, and I don't bother nobody. But I wanted to tell you guys, the neighbor lady across the street was kind enough to give us some dinner. And so when she brought it over, she told my husband and me that she seen a Yorkie, and she was pretty sure it was mine, and that he had a collar on, but she didn't tell us what color. Well, Chewy had a flea collar on, and that's it. There's a lady a couple houses up that has a Yorkie, and she said, so I don't know if it was her little Yorkie or my Chewy, but she said when them fire trucks came, that dog took off. It's not like Chewy to take off, and it's not like Chewy not to come home. So I need closure with that, you guys. I'm begging you, just pray. I've prayed for 2 days. Be a dream. If I see him in my dream, if God just shows me a sign, I need to know, because I'm so... Listen, I went to Walmart last night, and the first thing I do is go get pee pads for my dog, and he's not even here. And I try to, it's just not normal. It's not, I'm not having a good time with this, you guys. I just wanted to really say thank you. I'm so grateful, and I don't want to start bawling, because then I'll have to make this again, and I don't think I can make it again. I just want to say thank you to everybody. Shams, Catherine, Catechus, Pretzel, Hambone, Suzanne, Keely, Lina. Thank y'all. Peter, Shoshana. Thank you. I wish I could name every one of you personally, but I want to say thank you. Thank you with all my heart. Thank you. Oh, as far as homeowners insurance, the way it is, I pay the power half, my mom pays half. I pay the dish and the internet, and poor mom, she paid the homeowners. She said they got hard pressed, she and her buddy Jesse, and they didn't make the homeowners insurance, and that's been since December. So now we'll make it. We're going to figure something out. We've got some plans, but she's fine. Mama's fine. She's fine. And she wants to say thank you so much for everybody's concerns and well wishes and your love and your prayers. Just please, please, please pray that I get some sort of closure on that dog, man. I know he was just an animal, and that fire marshal looks at me like I'm crazy, but I beg them people, please try to find something. If he ain't, I need to know. That dog was everything to me. I love all these animals, but Chewy was everything. He lost his teeth fighting a pit bull for me, and here he burns up in my room. You just don't know how that feels. It's horrible. I don't want to cry anymore, y'all. But I do want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'm so grateful. Thank you.
Yeah, hi everyone. How are you? This Saturday evening, I thought I would come on late live. I've been thinking about Ashli here. Ashli Sloan from Danger Zone. Previously, it's Ashli.
All right.
What's that noise?
So before we begin the impanelment.
Sorry, I got a court I'm watching. That's the Lindsay. It's the Lindsay Clancy case. Yeah. So Ashli, very sad how it all ended. You know, just a few years ago, all through that COVID psyop and Harry and Meghan satanic chaos going on. So much going on. That it's just heartbreaking between her and Yankee Wally, and that the fact that they're both gone now. And it's almost at the anniversary of Ashli's passing. She passed away on August 14th, 2022, at the age of only 46. She is young. And then they say here her death was the result of a long battle with cancer. I mean, yeah, she battled for a long time, but it wasn't really that long as far as cancer battles go. It was less than a year. And the last video I did, what got me thinking about her is the last video with Perez Hilton and his situation, what happened to him. And I was saying it was exactly what happened, the medical situation. That video, obviously, was before the medical situation. But she just had one bad thing after another, poor Ashli. Kind of like Yankee. But I wanted to point out that, you know, Ashli was basically murdered by the state, in my opinion, because, she, like I said, she took that, from what I understand when I did the research on her videos, she got in the summer of 2021, she got the colonoscopy, and apparently there was they punctured perforated the intestines, which is very common, apparently, and there's a lawsuit. There's actually a lawyer's website about it. If you try to sue, you can't sue because it's considered a standard risk or whatever. But anyways, so because of the puncture, she ended up getting, like Perez Hilton, a severe sepsis, which is an emergency. You could die from that. It's your inside your intestines leaking out into your body cavity, and it causes an infection, sepsis infection all over. And so in the fall of 2021, Ashli had to go to the hospital, have emergency surgery. Now, Ashli was one of the few people, myself included, who were warning people, don't take the safe and effective. Don't take it. And Ashli made videos on her Rumble channel about it. So she knew what was what. She was in on it. She saw the evil for what it was. She called it out. She warned people. You had to warn people on Rumble. And But what the sneaky Satanists did through their medical industrial complex, without telling anyone, okay, we didn't know this was going on. They didn't announce they were doing this. Was that even I'm sure it even happens to this day. You have to be very careful if you go into a hospital, because she went in for emergency surgery, and I'm sure she said, "No, I do not want a safe and effective. Make sure I do not want one." Well, what they did was, if you are having surgery, they put you under anesthesia, and then they gave it to you anyways, and they didn't tell you. They don't tell you. The only way you can find out, besides having side effects, was if you went to the trouble of ordering your full medical file of all the details of what happened in your stay, and you had to go and order that and pay for that, and then you would see it in there. Oh, while you were under anesthesia, they gave you a COVID shot. So the point is, they went against your wishes. They knew they were going against your request. Normally, what you say goes. But with that particular injection, they went by the idea of, well, you said you don't want it, but it's to keep you safe. It's to keep everyone safe. It's to keep the community safe, right? So that was the lie. It's to keep everyone safe. They're just gonna knock you out and give it to you anyways. And then of course we know what happened immediately after. She got over the surgery, and next thing you know, she's diagnosed with turbo cancer, and she's dead in less than a year. That's why I just have to scoff at this long battle with cancer. No, it was a turbo cancer. She got it from the shot, in my opinion. Not only my opinion, many others. But the point is to keep that in mind. Just remember, the moral of the story is they kill you with the message of, oh, we're trying to save you. Right? We're keeping you safe. And to this day, they've never been held responsible to this day, because the PrEP Act is still... because they're protected by the PrEP Act, which it doesn't expire until 2029, and even then they may extend it again. So that protects the drug companies and the hospitals and doctors and nurses for everything they did in pushing these injections and all the injuries they've caused. They're protected from lawsuits. So yeah. And so just keep that in mind. They're keeping you safe, and they will literally kill you. And I believe they killed Ashli that way. So with that in mind, I also wanted to look at that fire. I don't believe they ever found the culprit, have they? I don't believe anyone knows her or knows. Did they ever find out who did it? Did they determine, I guess not. So I was going to look at that tonight. I felt since it's coming up to the anniversary of her passing, 4 years ago now? Seems like yesterday. And I want to look at if the Sussex Squad were behind it. The rumor at the time, everybody believed, and I think Ashli believed, I can't remember exactly. Did she say that that's what she assumed, who thought it was? She say that, did she just never say who she thought it was? That's very scary. I mean, there was nobody else she could think of that it could have been. So let's take a look at this. So I try to clear out my messy area here. All my utensils around. My art stuff. All right, there we go. I think we got it now. So let's take a look at Ashli. Maybe, on the day of her anniversary, if I think of it, maybe we'll do a message reading, possibly. Yeah. So let's take a look. So I'm going to do a couple of oracle cards first. Let's see what's going on here. So I want to know who burned down her home. Who was that back in 2020? Who burned down Ashli's home? So evil. So much evil going on. She knew. She was like, she knew all about how evil the things were going to get. She was like, she even said in that video, so you don't know the evil that's coming together right now. And Ashli was the only one that explains how that those BLM people, she had a video showing when BLM was a big deal, and of course they were satanic as well. She was showing how that they were having one of their like rah-rah fests where the BLM communists get together and they were chanting together, you know. They always have their chants, you know. Do the work, you know. Say her name, you know, burn it down. You know, they have their chants that they do, that they repeat. And they were doing that, chanting. And one of the BLM people, of course, Sussex Squad were all BLM communists as well. And she was saying that they were doing Ashli showed the video of the BLM group in a circle doing their chanting, and she was pointing out the symbolisms of how this was a satanic evil chant that they were doing. It wasn't merely a group of politically, you know, minded people chanting. She was pointing out, though, this is actually satanic sorcery they're doing. Under the guise of a political movement. So just like Harry and Meghan are a satanic, force for the globalists and bringing in alert their censorship and everything else, under the guise of Romeo and Juliet escaping the palace, right? So never believe the narrative handed to you by these Satanists. That's never the real narrative, right? We know that by now with Harry and Meghan, but it goes to everything, right? But Ashli was right on it. She would see right through it. She had that perception to expose all of that. So let's see. Let's get a card about this fire when Ashli's home burned down. Twice, not once, but twice. Yeah. What happened? What was going on here? What was the situation here that we should keep in mind? Make a decision. Feeling stuck or it says indecisive. Is indecisive a word? I thought it was I guess that is a word, right? I never use that word. I say you're decisive or indecisive. Okay, so feeling stuck or indecisive, listen to your intuition and make a decision. Oh, wow. The cards are like bossing me around right now. Now, that's part of it. I think the other part is that we don't have a decision, right? It's indecisive right now who burned her home down. Yeah, feeling stuck or indecisive. Yeah. So I think this card is just describing what's been how nothing's been determined, right? There's never been a clear answer to who burned her home down. So yes, that is true. I'm going to try to make a decision here tonight. What else? What other message? What do we need to know about Ashli's home burning down? Oh, look at that. That flipped right out. Lion. When I think of lion, I think of the royal family. It's a symbol for the royal family. It's one thing. Lion and higher calling. You have within you all the courage you need. Let go of the past and reclaim your majesty. You will find success and contentment with those by your side. Make noble choices for your life and your tribe. Yeah, we were part of a tribe here, right? The Megxit tribe, the original Megxit tribe of people. Higher calling here. And a few of them dropped out here. The next one is squirrel. Always prepared. You are the expert of hard work and hard play. Your cheerful, fun disposition is a blessing to everyone. Don't let life's distraction take you off course. Make a plan for the future and life will give you all you need. Always prepared. So this is higher calling. This is always prepared. And the last one, the bee, which is also a kind of a royal symbol. It's like Megalodon and Catherine both have bee hives. And You could think of that as also Sussex Squad, kind of their bees, they're hive-minded, you know, with Harry and Meghan. And the term for this is community. You are a powerful creator. Your work blesses everything you touch. Be open to receiving sweetness. You are the queen of abundance. Queen. So we got 2 cards, and there's Lulu saying hello. Yeah. She was out all night last night. It was so warm here that she didn't even want to come inside. She might be wanting to go out again. I might have to get up and let her out if she starts meowing a lot. But yeah, so we've got 2 royal looking cards here connected, and squirrel with a couple of birds in the picture. Always prepared. Who's always prepared? It's like the I think it's the Air Force. Who's the Army? They're always prepared is their motto. Oh, and Lulu is Lulu, careful. Yeah, she's falling off the table here. What? I think she wants to go out. You know, bear with me for 1 minute. Yeah, see, she's excited. I think she wants to go out. I'll be right back. Let me let her out. And then I'm going to do a reading on who burned down Ashli's home. So 2 seconds. Let me just put I will be right back. Okay, I am back. Thank you. She did want to go out again. She's probably gonna be out all night again, hunting mice. So all right, back to business here. Who burned down Ashli's home? Did she ever find her dog? I don't think she ever found her dog Chewy, did she? That's so sad. Poor old dog. 15 years old. That's an old dog. I don't think he had a chance getting out of there. Yeah, so we're going to look at if it was Sussex Squad or if it was someone else working for Harry and Meghan. Yeah, it's so dangerous. So dangerous now. That's why you need your anonymity online. Because, you know, you don't know who. It could have been anybody found out where she lived, right? That's why you need your anonymity. Because this is what they want the power to do, to find out exactly who you are, and they can send their Sussex Squad over. Burn your house down, make it look like just a random accident. Unbelievable. This is what Harry and Meghan want for you. They have all kinds of security paid for by our government, our tax dollars. I should say paid for by us. But yeah, we should our lives should be put in danger. But it's to keep children safe. You see, more evil coming in under the idea of safety. Oh, it's to keep children safe. Yeah, that's why we have to have censorship and to put your real identification on all your social media, so that when the BLM mob and Sussex Squad mob want to know where you work and where you live and where your family lives and where your friends live, yeah, they'll just go after all of them. And we know they do. They do that on all kind of social media. Unbelievable how evil. It's a real shame because Ashli was all on top of this. You know, she was all on top of this. These people and what they're about and their satanic sorcery that they did. She was all on it. She knew what was what. She was really an expert in this. So anyways, back to this. So who burned down Ashli's home and why? And were they expecting to kill Ashli? Were they trying to kill her? And we have a couple, and you see what's going on in the UK with Nigel Farage. You know, they killed Whitcomb. They're killing these globalists or Harry and Meghan's gang. They're just killing whoever they want. And I'm sure it's the same BLM people. I wouldn't doubt it. Same Satanists. So this is what they're doing. They're just going around killing anybody they don't like. Anyone that gets in the way of their New World Order and enslaving you. Yeah, with their flock cameras and their climate change BS. Yeah, let's see here. Was there anything that could have prevented this from happening? And did the Sussex Squad do it? Or someone else working related to Harry and Meghan? Harry and Meghan behind it, their group. What are they hoping for? Looks like they came back a second time because the first time the whole thing didn't burn down, so they came back a second time to finish the job. That's how determined they were to burn her entire home down. Because, right, as you pointed out in the beginning, it was just, Yankee Wally and Ashli, and I was there too. But they weren't tarot. I was tarot, so it was different, different audience. But still covering Harry and Meghan. And, yeah. That made her a target. Her and Yankee Wally have both been killed, basically. I think Yankee Wally probably died because of the vax as well. I think they both died because of the vax. One from turbo cancer and the other from probably a blood clot to the heart. Because the way Yankee wasn't sick, just boom, she's out. She just had a little bit of stomach trouble, no big deal. She's going to go to the doctor next week, and boom, and this is what's happening again and again. Sudden adult death syndrome. Yeah, that's what they're calling it, right? That's what I believe. Well, let's focus on the fire again. I want to shuffle a little bit more. All right, let's see. The person or people who burned down Ashli's home in 2020, why did they do it? And were they a Sussex squatter? Let's see what the cards show. Okay, general situation. Oh, Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, destructive card. A soldier here, a very mentally ill BLM soldier. Hell-bent on destruction and attacking and destroying the homeland there. Trying to take away the physical domain, coins, money. Yes, very destructive attack here. Hanged Man. A large group, major arcana, which points to a large group. Traitors. This is a traitor card. The fake victim, right? It's Harry and Meghan, all this whole psyop of BLMers pretending to be victims. They're victims of white supremacy. Their code word for capitalism. They always use a doublespeak code words because they're Satanists. And they lie and then make up new words and just change the definition of old words. Just to deceive you, lie to you, and deceive you. So yeah, I do see a large group of attackers here who are either traitors or possibly foreigners, not even, mercenaries who don't see things the way normal people see them. Have a different way of thinking, like a brainwashed Marxist communist. Oh, look who's at the bottom of the deck. My, oh my, there's the witch. One major indicator for Megalodon. Megalodon's definitely aware of it and possibly influencing it. Oh. I got a card wrong here. Got one more at the top. All right, there we go. Now I got the full reading. Okay, so what's the basis of it? King, oh my God, King of Pentacles. Already I've got King of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands. Harry and Meghan. First thoughts. Bam. Harry mainly. Because Meghan's on the outside of she's on the periphery over here. She doesn't have the connections. Harry, she pretends to be black. I don't believe she's black. I believe she's Middle Eastern. But Harry is the one with the pull. He's the one with the mercenaries to take you out. To his soldiers here. That's why he loves his Invictus. He hires his hitmen through them. How convenient for Harry to have all these hitmen at his disposal, right? Have all their data, names and addresses, and he's got his mental health app so he can figure out which ones are crazy. And then, they love having their hands on a man who knows how to use a weapon and maybe PTSD, depressed, and want to use them. And manipulate them, saying, hey, if you just take out Ashli's, home, we'll give you some money, right? I mean, you can just see how the connections there, how it all, the real reason for Ingriftus, besides being a platform for these two, the Satanists to put up their disgusting displays of, yeah. Oh, thank you for the gift. Thank you so much. The lovely. Thank you. Oh, so what's cut off? So this is what triggered it or what led to it very fast. Okay, this person was not from the area, obviously, and worked very fast. They were in and out very quickly. Again, I'm getting two like hitmen here. I'm getting two warriors, two soldiers, two killers, two fighters. This was like military connected. The people involved could have been Ingriftus related or just, not necessarily though, because BLM were a lot of They know how to. They're violent attackers as well. They're soldiers, right? They're mercenaries. So yeah, this was done very quickly. This person flew in and flew out. They're like boom, boom. They're in and out. Very quick, moved very quickly. They got the word from Harry over here and went right out and did it. Yeah, they were just hanging out. When they got there, they were, blending in. They knew how to blend in, right? They're professionals. Yeah. They were foreign. They're literally foreigners, not from that area. Yeah. So, were they trying to kill Ashli? So, we know it was an attack by two men here. We know Harry and Meghan are involved. We know it's a large group. This is a group endeavor here. This was... behind it, connection here. This was not like some lone crazy stalker that found her address after watching a YouTube video. This was a professional job and very efficient and effective. And you could just tell by the way it was done. Even the fire department had to do an investigation. They were alarmed. And the way she described the fire, it looked like it may have been done with lasers or something, because it just went down. Half the home was burned and the rest wasn't touched. Everything was fine. So it's almost like it was done with like lasers or something. Some kind of weaponry that the average person doesn't have, but globalists have, right? Just like they do with the Lahaina fires and the fires in California. They're done. All the trees are okay, but everything else burned to the ground. All the cars were destroyed. So some kind of weaponry like that could possibly have been a part of this. So were they trying to kill Ashli? Were they expecting to kill her? Oh, yeah. No, you know what? I'm not getting death. They weren't trying to kill her. They wanted to get her to kill herself. That's what really evil Satanists do. They don't kill you. They hurt those that around you to push you to do yourself in. They wanted to push her to suicide, and yeah, taking away the place where she slept. They took away her room, her home there, with the place where she found. They taking away her happiness, and she was upset, as you can see in the video. That's what they wanted. They wanted her to suffer. They didn't want to kill her. They wanted her to suffer. That's how evil these people are. They're so evil. Yeah. And they wanted her, and they wanted that threat, swords. They wanted that message to go out to the people. Like, look what we'll do to you. This is a secret message. I got it reversed, right? Because it's a secret message, but Harry and Meghan wanted the message to go out that you F with us. This is what we're going to do to you, YouTubers. You're next. This is what we're going to do to you. That was the secret. Because, everything with them is secret, right? The safe and effectives being poisonous bioweapons, but that's a big secret. It was a big secret. The fact that they were injecting you when you were under anesthesia, a big secret. Everything's a surprise. You find out later. Another big secret, lots of secrets being built right now, and nobody knows what they're about, and you don't find out until it's too late, right? I don't know how I got off on this rant, but that was the secret. They do their worst secretively, right? So what could have avoided this? What would have stopped this from happening? Anything? Oh, look at that. Well, the royal family could have stopped it. Possibly, yeah, I'm getting probably them, or if Harry and Meghan were actually happy people instead of Satanists, and the community could have stopped them somehow. Even in this card, you got the little home back over there. Yeah. But no, you're not dealing with happy people. You're dealing with a couple of deranged Satanists who love destroying and causing chaos. So, what were they hoping for? What were they hoping for? Another night. They were hoping to make it look like it was an accident. Yeah, and this thing about this night is the white horse is like the same exact horse that's in the death card, same exact position and everything. So it's bringing death under the guise of, oh, I'm just passing through here, you know. Like these people that came through and burned her home down, they were definitely soldiers or military or something working for Harry and Meghan, it looks like. And 3 nights, could have been 3 of them, possibly, but at least 1 or 2. And they were trying to make it look like, you know, like it was just an accident. And it could have been passing through, like, I get the idea, because we got cups here, this could have been somebody serving food or something, pretending to be a worker, like pretending to be a waiter or something in a restaurant and slipping out and doing this, and then, you know, nobody noticing or even realizing that it could be him. So he kind of fit in, but he didn't. Yeah. So was it the Sussex Squad? Sussex Squad? 2 of Wands reversed. So I'm going to go with a no, but they may have known about it. The 2 of Wands. This is a plan. This is a card about planning. Now, this could be secretive, too. This is planning going on. Communications, planning, organizing. So there may have been some organizing by them. Planning it out secretively. Harry and Meghan involved. Oh, yes. Yes. Oh, yes. This could be Marcus Anderson. He's the real brain behind Harry and Meghan, it seems. Yes, this man with Harry and Meghan. Oftentimes I see it as a lawyer or a police officer, but in this case I would see it as Marcus Anderson. He organized it for them. Yeah, through the Sussex Squad too. The Sussex Squad were aware of it and helped out somehow. So the Sussex Squad helped, but it was mainly organized by Harry and Meghan's buddy here. It's all Harry and Meghan at the end of the day. Yeah. This is the mastermind over here. Yeah, they gave the orders. Harry and Meghan gave the orders. And the Sussex Squad arranged it and sent these assassins out. So what'd they do afterwards? Oh, look at that. Moon reversed. You know, they like to be the ones that announce it. Somehow they were the ones to it. Not that they announced it. I think they revealed or tried to use the momentum of this to rile things up even more and spread fear. They wanted everybody to fear. They wanted everybody to get the message. They wanted people to believe it was them directly, scare everybody. And I see this as excessively. Yeah, because this was something to scare everyone. It was meant to scare all the YouTubers and people on Twitter, like, you're next. Coming for you next. So it was a message. It was definitely a message because they knew everyone would find out. And it was a threatening message, meant to be a big deal, meant to go out there. And yeah, so they were a part of that with the Sussex Squad as well. Create hysteria there. Yeah. Yeah, you're right, Elizabeth. Yeah. Hopefully it all backfired on them in the Streisand effect, right? Oh, at the end of it all. Wow. 10 of Wands reversed. Oh, they're not, looks like they're not doing the work anymore. Looks like things are going downhill for the Sussex Squad and their terrorists that they're a part of. All their work was for nothing. It's Harry and Meghan, the 2 hypocrite lying Satanists who claimed that the royal family was so racist. So look where they're going now. They're going back and moving in with the royal family. Like as if nothing ever happened. All this, they come here, they spread their satanic chaos, right? Evil is always like very chaotic. It's like just chaos. They came here and they were just chaos when they were here. Now people are done with them and they're packing their bags and the show's over, the curtain's closing, everything they said was a lie, and they're just going back. They got their child, I don't know, the Childhood Safety Act passed, I think, in the UK. Not here. They're trying to pass it here, but it's getting blocked, thank God. But that's it. Harry and Meghan, their work is done here now, for now. I don't think they'll ever be able to get away with everything they got away with again, so I think they are done for good. And they're going back to the UK. Yeah, so you're lucky British people. You get Harry and Meghan back. But yeah, finale 10. These are finale completion. It's completed. Yeah, this was for sure mercenaries for Harry and Meghan. I mean, it can't be any more clear. It's these two. Their group and Marcus Anderson. Yeah. They could have stopped it. This could be their Sussex squatters too. They could have stopped it, but they didn't. It could have been stopped. I see a lot of, not a lot of people, but there were enough people that knew, because there was a group behind it. They could have stopped it. That was, really unnecessary. But again, it wasn't just about Ashli. It was for everyone. They wanted everyone to be scared of them. They wanted to, the major arcana here, I could say this is excessive, and and the dog, she lost her dog in it. They really wanted everybody to be fearful that they would be next on YouTube and Twitter, that this was the real reason for doing it. Not just to hurt her. They used her as an example, Harry and Meghan. They wanted you to fear them, that you'd be next. Yeah. While Harry and Meghan went around acting like they're victims, they're just victims here, but they're in griftus. Yeah. But they're not. They're evil. Yeah, so there you have it. Definitely Sussex Squad, definitely Harry and Meghan. Definitely paid hitman, hit arsonists. Yeah. Something always being prepared, like a military person there. And you see the birds, like the chain of Twitter. On Twitter, they probably organized it on Twitter. Harry and Meghan, they're still all over Twitter, right? Meghan is that Zadie one or something. And I got two royal cards, the Harry cards here, the two royal, right? Harry's favorite movie, The Lion King there, and you've got the bee with Meghan. So again, Harry and Meghan symbolism here with the birds. I take it as the birds would be like her Sussex squatters on Twitter. They were all involved in organizing it. Yeah, because it was professional, they never figured out who did it. No, they couldn't make a decision. It was such a professional job with professional weapons. I think they used special weapons here. It wasn't your everyday weapons. It wasn't just somebody going with some gasoline and matches. This was, I think, more advanced than that. Something that Harry and the royal family would be able to afford. Military, something military, or DARPA, or whatever it is. Harry's with the UN with Tedros and all that. I'm sure they have all kinds of weapons, the globalists, as we know. So, yeah, they used some advanced weaponry there, it looks like. So it looked like just a fire, but there was some advanced weaponry behind it. And like Ashli said, the fire marshal said it looked like a wall. It looked like what do you say, a firewall, just like there was a shield. It was just half. They were just showing that it was. They never saw that before. This is not a regular fire. This is not a normal fire. So just to F with Ashli's mind even more, and to really make this everybody afraid and crazy. Yeah. Wow, and you got swords and swords. The moon and the traitor here. The treasonous traitors here that Harry and Meghan are. Yeah, so that's what I'm getting here. Not getting a lot of cups. I mean, just a little bit of cups. I think the people who did it to her didn't really... I don't get a lot of personal feelings of anger against her. I think they were just doing a job for Harry and Meghan mainly, but they were deranged, dangerous lunatics like the Sussex Squad are. They'll attack whoever, just like they're attacking those journalists and ripping them down and dragging them. And I drag that witch, blah, blah, blah. All the hatred and anger they have because they're Satanists. They don't know any of these people, any of these British journalists. They don't know any of them, but they just hate them so much because they're paid by Harry and Meghan to hate them, right? And I guess because they're just Satanists, so they just love to hate, I guess. That's the way they are. And Ashli is the exact opposite of them, right? She was just so loving, so pure, so good, She didn't try to pretend to be a goody two-shoes, but she was very positive, loving, and good person, and she didn't deserve this. She didn't deserve any of it. Yeah, it's and yeah, never forget. That's all I can say. These people, it's one of many things that Harry and Meghan and the globalists need to be held responsible for what they did to this woman, because it does look like they were behind it. And I totally believe it. Yeah, maybe one day, hopefully, maybe one day the arsonist will grow a conscience and confess to it and expose how satanic and evil Harry and Meghan really are. Maybe one day it'll come out. Yeah. Well, let me see. I'll ask that last question and see. Will the person who did this ever confess to it? Will they ever admit they did this? These people don't normally talk. Oh. Yeah, if Harry and Meghan, if they have a falling out, yeah, it might come out in their deathbed. Wow. Yeah, it might come out. Might come out one day. Yeah, they might come clean when they're on their deathbed and they don't want to burn in hell, which they know they'll deserve. They may come out with it. Yeah. Or they may be moved, somehow. They may get burned by Harry and Meghan and be angry and then say, "That's it, I'm letting people know." Now, some of these cars, you actually have a fire. You see the fire behind his head. Yeah, so I'm coming out and telling people. Yeah. So there you have it. That is what I see about who burned down Ashli's home. And I've got confirmation. Harry and Meghan. And someone they hired here, a hitman, that they hired that the Sussex Squad helped secretly to organize. The Sussex Squad were a part of it somehow in helping organize it, communications and maps and whatnot. So, all right. So I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. It's great seeing you and chatting with you. And until next time, I hope you all have a wonderful day or evening. All right. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.